What's up, YouTube? Big Z here, Big Z CashCity Picks. Welcome to Week 18 NFL, final installment for the regular season. Let's see how we did. Last week, terrible. 1-3 on our picks, 0-2 on the big money. We got unhappy, kicked out of Cash City. The Rams lost against the Giants. Well, they won the game, but by a point. New York had that punt return, doomed us. That crazy punt return cost us the game. New Orleans decides to tear apart Tampa Bay, a division rival. Carr shows up big, throwing all over the Buccaneers. And then Detroit, who actually won that game, and it got stolen from them. They did everything they needed to win that game. Dallas got a lot of home love. It was terrible. Still, Dallas didn't perform like I thought they would at home. They narrowly won that game by a point. We needed 5.5. Cost us big time. The only shining spot of light at the end of the tunnel was Green Bay coming through for us. Solid division win, 33-10 over Minnesota, covering the 1-point spread easy. So we got a little piece. Now what? We turn our attention to the final week. Matter of fact, I'm looking at the Jacksonville, Tennessee game. It is a division game. Jacksonville is favored by 3.5 points. I think they cover this. Why? Jacksonville has had a lot on its plate in the last 5 games. They did win decisively last week, 26-0 over Carolina, hapless Carolina. Before that, they have 4 tough wins against tougher teams: Tampa Bay, Baltimore, at Cleveland, and Cincinnati. Cincinnati being a close game, and that Cleveland game also being a close game. Trevor and company have had a lot to deal with in the last 5 weeks, but as soon as they get a team who doesn't have all the goods, Jacksonville shows up big with a 26-0 romping. Tennessee is one of those teams. They are in a bad spot. They don't have anything going on for them. This year is done for them, I think. I know it's a division game, but I'm thinking, what's there to worry about? Tennessee has taken 2 losses in the last 3 games to the Texans, who are okay, but nothing to write home about. They took a loss to Seattle. They took a win against Miami, but it was a banged up Miami. I remember that. What was that, 4 weeks ago? People were hurt on that team, and that caught us off guard. I know we paid the price on that one. But today's another story. Take Jacksonville to cover 3.5 points, no problem, over Tennessee. Jacksonville Jaguars get us to Cash City. Let's go. Next up, third selection for Week 18 pick is another division game. A lot of division games here to wrap up the season. I am liking and looking at Tampa Bay at Carolina. Tampa Bay minus 4.5 points. I say Carolina is done for the year. They just lost last week big, scoring 0 points against Jacksonville. Tampa Bay needs a bounce back game because they took a loss last week against division rival New Orleans, and Tampa Bay was on a roll. I still believe in Baker Mayfield. I still believe they want to show up and prove themselves in that league and take that division because it's not settled. Tampa Bay is going to look to settle it. Carolina is going to look to maybe spoil it, but spoil it with what, really? You got to score points to spoil things. So Tampa Bay covers 4.5 points. I think they win by 10 points this game. Get us to Tampa. Get us to Cash City. Buccaneers. Let's go. Last but not least, Cash City pick takes us to a division game, of course. Buffalo on the road to Miami. Buffalo has a whole lot to play for still, trying to rise from the depths and claim their spot in the postseason. Miami, on the other hand, they're going to be resting their players. They're already clinched. They're in there. This is a very similar situation like the Pittsburgh-Baltimore selection earlier in this show. Big money, 1 whole unit. Buffalo covers 2.5 points. They have a reason to play big. Miami has a reason to rest. We'll see all of you in the playoffs. Let's go, Buffalo. Cover it. 2.5 points, no problem. Take us to Cash City. We'll see you there, where we get to pay the man.